Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for all the nice, kind words and all the welcome backs. Much appreciated. And for those of you who don't have anything constructive or productive or awesome to say, it's probably not the channel for you. Alright, boxing fans. Here we go. So far, we've been looking at Guillermo Rigondeaux fighting orthodox right-handed fighters. Now he's going to be fighting a fellow southpaw, Jazza Dickens. So the angles are going to be the same angles as in the upcoming Lomachenko fight, and things are going to look a little different. I don't know what else to say about that. But let's see how this fight compares to the Adrian Francisco fight and the very, very short Moises Flores fight. And this is a guy, basically looks like same height as Rigondeaux, maybe less reach, I don't know. Maybe the same reach. But he's thicker, right? You could tell he's thicker. He's coming down. His previous fight was at 126. And I think after this fight, he also went back up. But he's fought at this weight before, at super bantamweight. When he steps on the scale at super bantamweight, he looks like death. But it is what it is. Not making excuses or anything, I'm just saying. He's not a top-level fighter. And he is coming down in weight, and it's tough for him to make this weight. Look at his chin. Not just the tip point of his chin, but the overall pizza-shaped, wedge chin. Just under the ear too, right? It's pretty narrow, right? I don't know. That's some funny-ass facial hair too, man. He's got a really back to his chin since he gets broke in this fight. He has a very fragile looking chin. It's not, let me see if I can, this is pretty interesting to me anyway. Oh, another factoid while I'm looking for this. Oh, there we go. Look at that. This shows it pretty well, right? It goes to a pretty sharp point, and his mandible doesn't really look very robust, right? It's kind of sunken in there, just under the ear. Fragile chin, man. Like literally not cut from that cloth. He's just not. So, fuck it, let's just watch it. Southpaws tend to, when they face each other, they tend to show a better jab than when they fight orthodox fighters. And you see these guys jabbing a little bit with each other, right? It's more like, it's exactly like orthodox fighter fighting another orthodox fighter. So they're boxing, and Jazza is moving which way? To the left. Now, coming inside and throwing punches, he's more than likely gonna have to go to his right or straight in, because if he tries to go to the left, he's gonna take away his angles, his punching angles too. I mean, he's gonna nullify Rigondeaux, but he's also gonna take away his own punching angles, unless you're like doing some crazy unorthodox shit. It's generally not a good idea. But when he's out there, he's still in range, long range. He should either be out of range or circling away from Rigondeaux's left hand. But, well, let's watch. Right? He circles to his right. Another thing that he's doing that I don't like is hopping. A lot of hopping, right? Kind of amateurish thing to do. right? A lot of that, all that. Do you ever see Rigondeaux doing that? No, only when he's running, right? But when he's punching, his he doesn't bounce around, right? You got to stay planted because every moment where your feet are not on the canvas, unless you're some crazy super athlete, you're not throwing very good or effective punches, right? Unless you're Roy Jones Jr. or Pacquiao or Lomachenko. So not only is Jazza so far only going to the left, he also he also has his lead hand low, and he's just wide open for a left hand, right? From Rigondeaux. I mean, I'll show you. You'll see. It should be self-explanatory. And there, he kind of checks Rigondeaux's jab a little bit, but I think he was just jabbing and happened to hit his hand. He's not really making an effort to control Rigondeaux's jab, right? He willingly submits his own lead hand. He keeps it low, right? He just submits it. Rigondeaux could just he has an opening right over the top. He's just giving Rigondeaux an opening right over the top, whether for Rigondeaux's jab or left hand. You see how wide open this guy is? Okay. Not an A-level fighter. That's all I'm saying. And he's just moving to his right, right? Into the left hand of Rigondeaux, which is why he's just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw it. This guy's just giving me whatever I want, so I'm not even gonna worry about trying to set up this punch. I'm just gonna go for it, right? And he does kind of set it up, but look how he tried to set it up. Look what he tried to do. You see that? See what he just did? He wants to slap down Jazza's jab, right? Because look, Jazza keeps it low, and Rigondeaux just wants to get it out the way, right? And he just gives it to him, right? He just gives Rigondeaux openings. Like, here you go, I'm gonna lean in for you. Drop my hand, and what are you gonna do? Right? He did it again. He did it twice. Rigondeaux saw it once, and then he saw it the second time, and he just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go for it." This guy's just giving me crazy openings. And Jazza's doing his basic boxing 101, jumping in with the jab and landing probably. But look how wide open he is, right? How lazy. He doesn't bring his jab back up. Lazy jab, right? So Rigondeaux's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep throwing, bro. You're just giving me all these openings. What's up, bro? Oh, it's crazy, man. Right? Jazza's pumping like this lazy jab out there, but he's not, he doesn't, to me, it doesn't really look like he knows what he's doing. Right? Constantly moving to the left. That's the only direction he goes. Unless I missed it. Oh yeah, he's just gonna roll Rigondeaux's fast ass punches because he's Jazza Dickens. Woo! Oh, oops! God, terrible defense. Oh, I'm surprised it took 2 rounds to be honest with you, but it is what it is. Like, look, Rigondeaux's just with this guy, he could just take his time, do whatever he wants. He has all the time in the world to think because he's not pestering him. He's not disrupting him with his own lead hand. He's just like in the gym hitting a bag or something. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. I mean, he's moving his head and all, and he's got some good qualities, Jazza Dickens. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just pointing out why he lost this fight. Jazza's not really setting up his punches. And you see he's got this habit of jumping around, right? We know he's throwing punches right now, right? It's easy to tell. He's looking to land, to throw punches. But when he's doing this, jumping, and look, I get it. He's getting out of range, and good for him. But he also has a habit of jumping around when it gets him in trouble. But let's just keep watching. And he's easy to time, right? Look, because he jumps out and then wants to waltz back in, and Rigondeaux's like, hell no, what are you, crazy? What are you doing, you amateur, right? If he wants to jump out of range, plant his feet there and like tiptoe your way back in. You know what I mean? Don't be an idiot and just keep bouncing in. Don't. Right? He's useless. When he's bouncing around, he can't throw shots. So he's just giving Rigondeaux, you know, maybe not necessarily openings, but he's not protecting himself. And he's giving Rigondeaux chances. There are instances where Rigondeaux can throw, and he knows there's not going to be anything coming back at him, which is probably why he's not really trying to set up anything. He's just like, fuck it, I'm going to catch this guy. Because he's dropping his left hand in front of me. He's circling into my left hand all the time, and he's bouncing around like a fucking jackrabbit. It's just a matter of time before I land something on that pointy ass jaw. Right? Rigondeaux has all the time in the world to think. Because this guy just, he's going to outbox him. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a dick. I'm just trying to make a Rigondeaux fight fun. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not controlling that lead hand of Rigondeaux. So Rigondeaux just basically has to time something and jump in with some shit and missed that left hand, but got him with a nice shot to the body there. Jazza Dickens is just giving Rigo all these opportunities and moments and chances, and he's like an athletic British club fighter. That's what he is. I don't know how long he's been boxing, but probably not that long. And if for a long time, then not very often. But he allowed Rigondeaux to just take his time and gave him openings, basically. He didn't really pressure him much. Just kind of, I don't know. He's just there. He's just there. He's getting a paycheck, I guess. Right? He's always moving to the left. And now he's going to the right. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm sorry. He is still moving to his right and into the left hand. I get confused when I smoke. But, he's just standing in front of him, wide open, not really doing anything. He's just letting Rigondeaux read his body movements and read his patterns. He's letting Rigondeaux take a good long look at him and his movements and study him so he could pick a moment to time him with some shit. Right? Did you see that? Did you see that? What do we say about bouncing around? What do we say? Don't do it! Oh, amateur. I'm glad Jazza Dickens got to be on the major stage like that, and all that. Good for him. And it even looked like he landed a punch on Rigondeaux. Throws really wide telegraph swings that aren't very accurate. I guess he landed, but what the hell did he land with? The wrist or something? Right? Just no punch technique. But Rigondeaux's also open, right? Wide open. He's making the same mistake as Jazza Dickens, right? So Jazza Dickens is able to crack him. Just don't got no real good technique and or accuracy, right? It's just like a physical club fighter that just, I don't know. Giving Rigondeaux all the time in the world. In many ways, he's just like Rigondeaux, right? He keeps that left hand low. The right hand is No, Rigondeaux's right hand is... He's doing a better job of protecting himself with his right hand. Man, he's just letting Rigondeaux look at him and look at him and look at him and study him. He has no clue what he's doing, Jazza Dickens. I'm sorry, he just doesn't. What is he doing? He can't throw any punches. Did Drian Francisco have trouble, that this much trouble, using his hands and looking to set up punches and just doing something, working on a game plan. Jazza Dickens just a deer in the fucking headlights. And he's got his chin up in the air, his right hand low, and he's just saying, "Hit me." It's like they staged this shit, and he's moving into the left hand all fucking night. There's no real high level boxing going on here. It's just a guy standing in front of Rigondeaux and letting him take his sweet ass time and set up something, something sweet. Knock this guy out. Because he's not a boxer. He's a puncher. Right? But now Rigondeaux has to lead, I guess, because the other guy's not throwing any punches. So he's going to, do this. Be very careful and take his time. Try to detonate a bomb. Has Jazza Dickens done anything really? Oh, these fights sometimes are just dreadful, man. People want to talk about technique and how beautiful, and why isn't he going to be out doing something if he's so skillful? You know what I'm saying? Why isn't he just setting this guy up and getting him the fuck out of there? The dude's not doing anything. Man, that's a garbage performance, man. So far. What round is this? Did we miss this? Anyway, I'm high. So, Jazza Dickens realizes he had a broken jaw and he quits. Yeah, there you go, jumping around. Boom. Oh, yeah, now I remember. It didn't even look like that much when it did happen. It was a nice shot. It was a beautiful shot. But look, the guy just jumped out. He's been doing this at least twice, I think he did it. He took two little bounces out and right back bounced in with two other bounces. Right? So he not only did he give Rigondeaux a rhythm, he also showed him a place where each beat is gonna happen. So Rigondeaux just timed all the beats, measured the distance, after observing this guy doing this. Boom, and timed it. Like left-handed Dickens supposedly didn't land. But, it seems like the story with Rigondeaux, right? Like people just he's not really defending or anything. It's just that the other guy can't hit him, right? The shot is there. He could be keeping his right hand higher up, right? It's kind of useless over there. But it's just that the other guy can't get there, that, he doesn't get cracked with bombs. And sometimes he does. I don't know. I mean, I guess I clowned a lot looking at this, but, it just didn't really get, like, what did we learn in this fight? You know what I mean? Looking at Rigondeaux, that he could time a guy that just gives him openings all the time. That's what we learned, right? He didn't really set that punch up. He just sat there and he looked at the guy. He studied him. He just realized the basic mistakes that he was doing, got his rhythm down and timing, and just detonated one shot. And he was just trying to do that from the beginning, right? Till he finally got it going. And it looked easy as hell, didn't it? Yeah, because he's not fighting anyone that should. Jazza Dickens shouldn't be in the ring with someone like Rigondeaux. That's just that's something akin to child abuse. Seriously. Yeah, like I want to be able to talk about angles and how the things that Loma could potentially do, but Jazza Dickens is not going to be doing those things. So it's kind of hard to explain how it's going to go down and what Lomachenko needs to do to be able to beat Rigondeaux. But as far as which way you go, which way you're circling with, Jazza, just like if Jazza wants to set up his own left hand and he's known for a hard left hand bomb like Rigondeaux, then yeah, he should be moving into his right and being offensive, looking to get to the spot first and detonate his own bombs. But he's not really doing that, so maybe he should be circling to the left also, if not all the time, if he's going to be staying out of range. But then when he's coming in with punches, he's going to have to step to his right to land his left hand. So, the angles are different than the Gian Francisco fight, or the Chucky Flores fight. So, we don't have enough information really with Guillermo Rigondeaux to be able to show how this fight might look with some of his previous fights, because he just doesn't really get challenged by these guys, right? Bouncing around and getting cracked. I don't know. When Lomachenko fights, when he fought Gary Russell, for example, I'm going to look at that fight. I hope to get to it. He was going to his right a lot, but he was looking to set up his right hand, and he also moved to the left. So at the very least, you gotta mix it up. There should be a reason why you're moving the way you're moving, and you should make it the most advantageous to you. You know what I mean? So if you're Jazza Dickens going to your right in front of Rigondeaux and giving him an opening there, not a good idea. Lomachenko is going to be able to get away with that because he's going to keep his distance. And, well, if he is the intelligent fighter that I think he is, and, he will go this way and that way. And he's basically going to look to get to the spot first. So Lomachenko isn't going to be too worried about what Rigondeaux could do, but he's going to be looking to set up his own offense. Obviously, he's going to respect Rigondeaux, but that's going to be his primary concern, to set up his own offense and not worry too much about what Rigondeaux wants to do. And definitely don't give him time to just sit there, look at you, and think, so he could just time you with I mean, okay, if Jazza Dickens at the very least had a stiff jab, right? Or he knew how to control his opponent, right there, he would have at least put a... Well, I guess he didn't land either, but look how his hand just folds, right? He would have at least... He should have kept his hand out there, and if he made it as stiff as possible, right, and just went through with it, he would have slowed down that left hand, right? But he was just like, oh shit, here it comes, and he pulled back instinctively. He doesn't understand that he needs to control his opponent with the lead hand. He just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get control. And Lomachenko does.